Hi, fellow traders. What's happening? I hope you guys had a great day. I had a good start to the day. Kind of got challenging toward the end, and I just got disgusted and said the heck with it. Plus, I had to go pick my son. Got sick at school. I had to go pick him up and kind of take care of him. So, in a sense, I think he helped protect me from myself because I could have seen myself going after some trades and potentially getting stopped out before the trades actually worked. The price action just was not there today for me in my trades. Really, the last couple of days, the trend continuation just hasn't been there, and it's been a struggle. But we stay consistent. We don't change what we do. We stay focused. Now, my message today is master your moves, because three of the most common questions I get from new traders is, how do I control the market? How do I beat the market? Or how can I predict what the market is going to do next? And I could answer this negatively. I could tell you, you can't control the market. You can't beat the market, because you can't control the market. You have no control over it. You can't beat the market. You know, the market is gonna out earn you every day. That doesn't mean you're not gonna make any money. You just can't beat the market. How can you predict the market? You can't. I can tell you, there's no way with any degree of certainty will you be able to ever predict the market. You can't. But I answer these questions with this one phrase: master your moves. That's how you can't control the market, but you can control how the market, what the market does to you. Okay, you master your moves. You don't have to beat the market, but you can pull money out of the market if you master your moves. You can't predict what the market is going to do, but if you master your moves, you have a really good chance of being in the right place at the right time. So how do you master your moves? It's simple. Execute your trade plan every day. Now, I've said it time and time again. Execution is worship, because and that's our focus, is executing. Because if you don't execute your trade, if you enter too early, the trade's probably not going to work out for you. If you enter too late, you probably aren't going to make any money. You know, if you take your profit off too early, you know, over a period of time, you're not going to be as profitable. So mastering your moves is executing your trade plan. And I also tell some people, you know, when we get to this point, that learning how to play chess can really help you, because one of the most important things they have in common is that once you make a move, you can't predict the outcome of that move. So even though we know where we're going to enter, we know what our next move is, whether it's taking profit or getting stopped out. We don't know what our opponent's going to do in chess. We don't know how they're going to react to it. We can try to predict. We can make a move and say, well, if I move here, then I believe he's going to do this. I mean, we can predict that. That's just how it is in the market. We put our order, you know, we get in the market, we put our trade on, and we say, okay, I'm in. I think this stock is going to do this. But it doesn't have to. So all we can do is plan our move, execute according to our plan, and we've already got the next move planned. You know, so we know what we're going to do next. Now, the market can throw us a curve, just like our opponent in chess can throw us a curve. But we should have that next move already planned. If it doesn't go according to our plan and we don't take profit, then it'll probably stop us out. So we've already got that plan. So, we're always looking, as day traders, we're always looking for ways to kind of hone our skills. And learning how to play chess is that. You can play it on the computer, on your phone, whatever. But it does. It helps you with your decision-making process, analyzing. It's just good all the way around. But the main thing I want you to take away from this is you want to every day master your moves. Because you guys see, whenever I don't master my moves, if I enter too early, if I'm anticipating, a lot of times that's when trades really don't work out and I get hurt. Yesterday, we went over, well, if you weren't in the class yesterday, that's where I did my trade recap. So you guys that have access to the class, if you want to see the recap from yesterday, that's where it's at. It's probably going to be like that throughout the duration of the day trading class. I will do my recaps on Wednesdays as part of the class. And you will see the first trade I took, I anticipated. I jumped in before the 5-minute candle printed, and it never triggered an entry for the opening range breakdown. Never triggered an entry. Came back and stopped me out. So I gathered myself. Second trade, executed according to plan. The trade didn't work. It stopped me out. And then it proceeded to try to work. And so we got in for the third time and just stayed locked in. Got in, great entry, the perfect entry, and bam, the trade worked. So the third time was a charm. But if I had eliminated that first move, I probably would have been green yesterday. But we did take another trade later on. Like I said, the trend continuation just isn't working. It's just a market thing right now. And that's all it is. It's not that it's not working anymore. The market goes through these cycles. They go through these phases. It's like the opening range. Sometimes you'll go 3 or 4 days and they don't work. But trend continuation does. You just stay consistent. Don't change up anything. Execute the same every day and you're going to come through. But yesterday was just a struggle. And so let's take a look at what we did today. So we were red yesterday. Today, I started out really bad again. I inadvertently got in a trade pre-market. I do not trade pre-market. I just don't, because I'll do it in the summer if I feel good about it. But when I take my son to school, I come back, I don't have time to really set up and track. And this was, it looks like an okay entry, but it really isn't, because you've got levels sitting right here. Plus, the spread was 20, 30 cents. There's no way in hell I'm going to trade 300 shares on a stock that has a 20, 30 cent spread. It just doesn't happen. But I did have my mouse over the montage. I was typing the stocks in. I was kind of looking at the charts, looking at the volume and all of that on it, on the montage. And I went to grab my coffee, almost dropped it, and accidentally hit the button, one of my hot buttons, and it shorted 300 shares. So I was in. So what I had to do was just kind of look at what's around this. Here was the 90-day moving average here, and it kind of hung around this, but we never really pushed up. Never really took this out of context. It never showed me that this thing was going to turn. And so we just waited and waited, and I was able to cover some right before the open because this thing did sell off. I probably should have took it all off here. But at the open, it ran up and stopped me out, and then we just reset. And, the 5-minute opening range, since the wick is this long, I used the body, and this is what we were working off of, the body. And I had to wait until we cleared the low of this candle. I wasn't going to short into this because this could have been a solid level. And got in and got to the first target here and then got through the second. I put it at 53. I know that the 20 was 53.11. I put it at 53 and it hit it. And then there was another level down, I think at 52.40 something. So 52.50 was the next target, but it didn't. It bounced and took me out here. Now, yeah, I could have taken it off earlier and not just let it hit my... and this was actually a little bit before break even. I was allowing for some slippage. And it just went up, stopped me out, and it started to sell again. So once we got below this low, of course I jumped in. And this time we bounced off the 20 and did not get to 53 because I was going to take some off at 53 again or just below 53. And this thing ended up bouncing and stopping me out. So I had a really, really nice trade. And then on the trend continuation, we just didn't get it. And this thing never came back. Never came back down again. So... here the opening range works, trend continuation doesn't. Tried some TVIX today because when the news came out about the trade that Washington announced that China would buy more agricultural goods or something like that, I was hoping that it wouldn't be a one candle wonder, and that's pretty much what it was. It spiked on one candle, and then that was it. So if you don't get volatility, you don't trade the volatility indexes. So I gave it a little bit of time, probably more time than I should have, and realized that we just weren't getting any volatility, that nobody's really buying any of that garbage coming out of Washington anymore. So I just took it off. Only made a couple dollars on it, but it's just frustrating because we could have made, I think when I added it up or figured it, I was up like $250 after the first two trades. And then the third trade, put a dent in it. I took $150 off of it. So, it's frustrating. Frustrating sometimes. But all we do, we know that we can't predict the market. We have to work with it and work around what it gives us. And we should have a strategy that allows us to either make money or not lose so much that when our day comes, we'll be able to be green. And I'm green. I have red days. But at the end of the week, I'm going to be green. That's what I'm looking at. Now, there are some weeks that I'm red. And I may end up red this week. Who knows what happens tomorrow. But that's not going to break my spirit. And that's not going to make me want to change anything. Even though I'll probably get messages from people saying this doesn't work anymore, that doesn't work anymore. Why don't you change? I'm not. I am where I am right now because of the strategies I trade, how I implement those strategies. Yes, I can take more risk and probably make more money with these strategies, but that's not who I am. And you have to trade the way you are. You have to trade where you're comfortable. Trade within yourself. Once you start getting outside of yourself, that's when you start to lose money. When you try to imitate somebody that maybe make or allegedly making a lot of money, it may not work for you because that's not who you are. So make sure you trade within yourself. If you're only making a couple of dollars a day and you're doing that consistently, you're on the right track. All you have to do is maximize the efficiency of the trades that you are taking right now. And a lot of times, a lot of people that I get their trades and I look at them, they have taken profit too early and they let their trades run to their hard stop. And when that happens, you're only going to either make a couple of dollars or you're going to be in the red. So just think about that. Focus on mastering your moves. And that's it. Don't focus on trying to control what's in the market. Don't focus on trying to beat the market or predict what's going to happen. You control what you can control. And that's you developing your trade plan, a viable trade plan, and then executing it in the market. And if you do that and you do that consistently, you will be profitable. Those of you that have fallen in line and you are following what I'm teaching you, you are seeing incredible results. Results that you haven't seen ever before since you've been trying this. You got to stay the course. Don't jump outside of yourself now. Keep on doing what you're doing. Put your head down, stay consistent, and gradually you will get there. And it's the same way I grew. And before I knew it, I was just rolling out some good profit every month. And so remember, we start with 5K every month. I wire out and we start with 5K every month. We're trading smaller size, consistent size every month. And we're getting consistent results. So that's what we're focusing on. So you guys have a great night. And I will catch up with you in the morning.